If you are currently on an Australian visa or planning to move to Australia in 2026, this is something you absolutely cannot afford to ignore, because what I am about to share with you could literally determine whether you successfully build your future in Australia or suddenly find yourself forced to leave the country. This is not exaggeration. These are real situations happening to real people every single day. And the truth is, most visa holders don't even realize they are making these mistakes until it is already too late. Let's start with one of the biggest misconceptions that puts thousands of visa holders at risk. Many people believe that as long as their visa is valid, as long as the expiry date hasn't passed, they are completely safe. But that is not how the Australian immigration system works. Your visa can be cancelled at any time, even if it is still active, if you breach any of the conditions attached to it. And one of the most common reasons for visa cancellation is something that seems very small at first: working more hours than allowed. For example, student visa holders are usually limited in how many hours they can work during study periods. Going over that limit, even by a few hours, even for 1 week, is considered a violation. And here is the harsh reality. It does not matter if your employer asked you to work extra or if you didn't know the rule. The responsibility is entirely yours. This is why tracking your working hours and understanding your visa conditions is absolutely critical. Now let's talk about something that sounds simple but has caused serious problems for many people: your residential address. When you move to a new place in Australia, you are legally required to update your address with the Department of Home Affairs. But in real life, people move, get busy, forget, and delay updating it. And during that time, important communication from the Immigration Department continues to be sent to your old address. These can include requests for additional documents, visa decisions, or even cancellation notices. And here is the shocking part. Legally, those letters are considered delivered, even if you never receive them. That means your visa could be canceled without you even knowing about it. This is why updating your address immediately after moving is not optional. It is essential. Next comes one of the most dangerous mistakes: applying for a new visa too late. Many people wait until the last moment to apply for another visa, thinking they still have time. But if your current visa expires before you submit your new application, even by 1 day, you can become unlawful in Australia. And once that happens, the consequences can be severe. You could face a re-entry ban that prevents you from returning to Australia for several years. The system is very strict when it comes to unlawful stay. The safest approach is to always apply early and make sure you have a bridging visa in place before your current visa expires. Planning ahead is not just smart, it is necessary. Now here is something that many people don't realize at all. The character requirement in Australia is ongoing. Most people think that once their visa is approved, they are done with background checks, but that is not true. If you are involved in any criminal activity while on a visa, even something minor, your visa can be reassessed and potentially canceled. This includes things like physical altercations, theft, or even certain serious traffic offenses. Visa holders are held to a higher standard, and the consequences are much more serious compared to citizens. This is why it is so important to always stay within the law and understand the risks. Finally, let's talk about employer-sponsored visas, because this is where things can become very stressful very quickly. If you are on a visa that is tied to your employer, your legal status in Australia depends on your job. If you lose your job, you typically have around 60 days to find a new sponsor, switch to another visa, or leave the country. And for many people, that time goes by much faster than expected. Imagine building your life, your career, your home, and suddenly being told you have just 2 months to figure everything out. The people who handle this situation successfully are the ones who prepare in advance. They understand their options, they have professional advice ready, and they don't wait until the last moment to act. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that living in Australia on a visa is not just about opportunity, it is also about responsibility. The system is strict, and it does not make exceptions for people who are unaware of the rules. But the good news is, if you stay informed, organized, and proactive, you can avoid almost all of these problems. Your future in Australia is absolutely possible, but it depends on how well you understand and follow the system. Before you leave this video, take action. Check your visa conditions today. Make sure you know exactly what you are allowed to do. update your address if needed, and if your visa is expiring soon, start planning now. Not later, now. Because when it comes to immigration, timing is everything.